Scorpio, how are you doing? This is Marta with Universal Power Tarot, and these messages we bring you today are supposed to encourage, elevate, and empower you guys. Hi, my friends. How are you doing? Wow, this energy is really infectious. I love it. Thank you. That's amazing. I feel really upbeat. And it also fits with what I was getting for you just now, Scorpio, which is sting like a bee, flow like water, sting like a bee. And I believe that it was Muhammad Ali, the great fighter, that said this. If I'm not mistaken, correct me in the comments, please, if that's not what he said. But that's the type of energy. He had great footwork and he was like, oh my God, like amazing, incredible fighter, right? And but not just that, there was so much more. It's much like Mike Tyson, and I don't know, maybe boxing interests you, but maybe you are kind of like me. Boxing doesn't really interest me. To me, that's kind of like too brutal. I don't like to see that. But I love, the philosophy behind it. I love the work ethic. I love, what they had to say. And it's much like, again, with Mike Tyson, the earlier years of his career and the way he developed. 1111 may be really important for you, by the way. The way he developed into someone completely different, but through setbacks in his own life and what he learned, about life and how humble he's presenting himself right now. Of course, you never know the person personally, but it's quite amazing like how far one human being can come in their lifetime. Really amazing. And how humans can really strive for greatness and achieve that greatness. And what greatness means can vary greatly. Can vary greatly depending on who's listening and who's speaking and what their perception of greatness is. And this seems to be something that's very philosophical. So this may be something that's interesting you, but it strongly came up for you, Scorpio. We're gonna look into what's your situation, what's the higher view of the situation, and what you can do to help yourself currently, because this channel is all about encouraging, elevating, and empowering you, right? Let's have a look. What do we have for Scorpio, please? This one, yes. Hoo-hoo, justice. Yes. And again, I'm getting that fighter spirit, that footwork that's so important. You know how they relentlessly train. So you may have been relentlessly training on something that seems rather basic, because in boxing you just repeat certain moves over and over and over again to perfect those. And that's what I'm getting here for you, Scorpio, perfecting something. And there is divine justice coming, because this can seem tiring. This can, if you don't have like the greater goal in mind with that and are being reminded of it, for example, being the greatest fighter of all times, then you may have, you may give up along the way. But not you, Scorpio. You keep going, because you have, it's interesting, the motives straight. You have your priorities straight. It's very cool, because you seem to be arriving at this place of balance here. But there's also something, again, about divine justice. I'm strongly getting the image of Archangel Michael with his flaming sword coming down and rectifying a situation that is in need of rectification. And this seems very, Old Testament kind of biblical, God coming down to punish, but it's not it's very interesting. And I apologize if this is offensive to someone here, but I'm only bringing through what wants to come through, because it's really like the hand of God is coming down to earth. But those that are righteous do not have to fear a thing. And this is interesting, because who are we to cast the first stone? Because as a human, I want to say, we do so much stuff that is, not necessarily on the most positive side. We also do great stuff, the makings of greatness that is on the positive side, which brings us back to Mike Tyson, right? And what he did in his lifetime and where he went to, though, right? It's not that you're, a bad person or making bad decisions in your life in the first half and that defines like who you are for the rest of your life. No, there is something, there's this huge, if a person wants to change, they can actually change. They can actually turn their life around. And I do not know if that's what you need to hear right now, Scorpio, or if this is something that you need to hear for another person. You know, sometimes people do deserve second chances. Sometimes I highly want to say they don't. Please use your discernment here. Use your gut instinct, your gut feeling, because your gut is not going to lie to you, and neither is your heart, your body. Trust your bodily instincts. How is your body reacting? If we're talking about a person here and about second chances, really sit with it. You're getting an answer quick, most likely, because it's not about using your mind, it's about using your body here for, you know, feeling the waters. Wow. But again, if this is about you, then there could be an element of, you know, repenting, regretting is what I'm getting here. Repent and it's okay, it's forgiven. You know what I mean? It's like nothing you do could ever be bad enough for God not to love you anymore. That's not going to happen. Nothing any human being on this earth is doing could be bad enough for that human being not to be loved by God anymore. And that is something, that is real unconditional love that I'm not sure we humans are really capable of this, not in this form. As a soul, sure, but as a human being mixed with all these other elements, I'm not sure we are really capable of this. I don't think so. Although you can still become great and you can still, you know, walk that path and go towards your goals, walk towards greatness. That does not include that. But after all, we're still human. I'm really getting this element of self-forgiveness, of being okay with that, knowing it, accepting it, maybe asking for forgiveness, although you don't really need to ask, because the moment you accept it, I believe, the moment you are, you know, aware of it and are telling yourself, I'm going to do things differently, I'm going to turn the life around for myself here, is when things are shifting, starting to shift like in a big way. And this also goes again, it could be that you need to hear this for another person that you may or may not be involved with currently. Wow. It's so funny because I said with Virgo, in the Virgo reading, that sometimes, because I had like a bunch of cards out for Virgo, and I even said, you know, sometimes we have just very few cards and we have like a whole lot to say to that. And sometimes we have a lot of cards and not very much to say to either one of them. But this is just one card that's important enough to fill almost like your entire YouTube portion over here. What else for Virgo? Yes. That Two of Wands. This is pondering a decision. It's interesting because it's also, you know, the twos. Justice is interesting with the two bowls here, right? And then we have the two wands. You know, this is making careful plans before putting them into action. This is pondering about what you want to do. This could also involve like world travel, travel in general, moving somewhere else. But this is about you being at home and pondering, what's your next step? What is your next step? What do you need to do to go from A to B, let's say? What do you need to do to save up more money, for example? It's interesting that that would come up here too, to realize your desires. Some of you may even be a little bit stuck in this area. We'll see if we can pull a card later that may help you, that you can apply to your life, so this for a better outcome. Some of you, you know, I'm really getting the rainmaker stick, because when you turn it, remember, and then the whatever is in there, the beads are rolling down the wands, the sides of the wand, and then they make this rain-like noise. You may either have one of these things, or you're considering, or you may even consider building one of your own, you know, to make the rain yourself. When there's not something there to create it so that it is there, so it fits your needs. There's something usually, you know, like planning and making something so it fits your needs, so it suits you. And I kind of feel there's distance between this and that, which is why the cards are kind of apart here in your reading. Oh, did I call you Virgo? I'm so sorry. If I did, I apologize. Scorpio, of course, right? But this is like there's a distance between, because there's something else, but there must have been something in your past that has kept you quite occupied, Scorpio. But now is the dawn of a new age right there, the dawn of a new age, and you decide who comes along with you, who you want and who you don't want, who you're willing to forgive and who you're not, where you just don't see change. Because why? That's the sign of insanity if you keep repeating the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. Same with people. Fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. It's in that regard. Although I wouldn't be so harsh on you. To be quite frank, if I were you, I wouldn't be so harsh on myself. My dear Scorpio, it's okay. And you're especially one of the signs that goes really, really deep and that ponders, human behavior, ponders maybe the workings of the world, but more so human behavior. I'm getting a lot of psychology here. That's generally speaking something that really interests you. But deep emotion, deep love, deep feelings of some sort, there's a longing that I can feel with the Two of Wands, and it's like I want to take off, I want to do something. You want to do something here, Scorpio. Let's pull one more card for you before we take this over to the extended, because I really want to find out what you want to do. Where's this going and what you need to do. So please, one more card for Scorpio. What do we need to know for my dear Scorpios? Whoop. That jumped out. Invitation. Interesting. This is the bridge, the invitation here. Wow. We, your guardian angels, ask you to invite us into your heart. Talk to us at any time. Share with us your fears and concerns, as well as your joys and pleasures. There is no need to be formal, for we have known you since before the dawn of time. In fact, we know you better than you know yourself, and we love you just as you are. This is beautiful, exactly. And there's this huge self-acceptance kind of a theme popping up here as well again, right? See you as angels, see yourself. You are forgiven, if you're looking for that, but also forgive yourself, Scorpio, because there could still be like a little bit of attachment here to something that either somebody else did to you or that you did to someone. And again, it's fine. We're all guilty of something. But we'll see, because there's more excitement that wants to come in with this. I'm getting like this huge curve over here to focus on the future, to focus on the present here for you. But we'll see. If you're interested and if this resonated with you and you would like to know more, the link to Patreon is down below for you, okay? I hope this was helpful to you and or insightful. I'm sending you so much love, light, and shadow, and I'll either see you over on Patreon or next time. Bye, my friends.